Hello and welcome, fellow Millennium Racing League racers. That was pretty cringe, not gonna lie. Anyway, so we are at Atlanta. Welcome everyone to the newest episode of the Cup Fastlane. Here to talk about the D4C season, race number 2 at Atlanta. First and foremost, I am going to point out that Atlanta was a very tough track for these guys. The Cup Series, I've been noticing, have, just because of the very nature of the Cup cars, they have been having a little bit more cautions than the lights had. To kind of give a little bit of talking about the lights, you are going to be seeing lights have 2 cautions per race, which was phenomenal racing for an 80-lap race. Here in the Cup guys, you're going to see a little bit more cautions, and just honestly, I think that's just because of the very nature of how these Cup cars run on the game, which is essentially very loose, and you are packing a lot of speed, and any amount of speed loss, you are just going to the wayside. You are not, unfortunately, not going to be in the main pack. So this was the second race of the D4C season. We had a lot of people come on out. We actually had 12 actually come on out, but there was a lot of people actually in chat watching. I think peaked at like 5 people watching, which is awesome for us, because the reason why I say this is literally because we had we had the Bristol night race go on during this race. So that's one of the reasons why people partially didn't race, as well as we had a dip in people watching. But I'm so happy that these guys did come on out and race. It was so much fun to call. It was 167 laps total for these guys around Atlanta, which, if you guys don't know, Atlanta is very, very tire heavy. Tire heavy is just a blip on how much these cars are going and depending on their tires. That being said, it is not like the Xfinity cars, where you are literally pitting like 8 laps before your fuel because tires are just that bad. It's not like that, but you will see people kind of extend the run a little bit, and some people pit as soon as the window is open. So to kind of go through as everyone is going through their lineup right now. Pardon me, I have the hiccups. BS got another pole, and actually, one thing I want to point on out is the BS is the kind of guy that says, "Oh, my time was awful," but he literally tied it with Xander. Now, the tiebreaker in this is the days that it was sent. So it was sent Thursday. So like literally BS sent in his time on Thursday. So literally 1 week ago on the day of this recording. And then Xander sent his on Friday. So because BS sent his in first, he got the benefit of pole. So should that ever happen, we've had a tie for second, but never a tie for the pole. So that's awesome to see. Not only that, but then Brandon B. Wright is 0.07, so 7/100ths away from the pole time. That's in P3. BD P4. T-Bird is not going to join us, but he did get last place points because he put in a lap. Is going to be then Liam is going to get P5 instead. US Check Enterprise P6. Piper as well is going to get last place points. Same thing with Worstcott. So MH is going to start in P7, and then we're going to go to UK Hunty, Joe, Justin Shackett, and then Cade and Baseball Kid are going to be the 12 guys that are going to be rocking it tonight. And one thing I want to point out, and we're going to be just kind of seeing exactly what I'm talking about, is just what I was saying about making sure you get on in and make sure that you have a good momentum shift, because what I'm going to show is how bottom heavy this track is. You can see the 98, the 17. People really are going to start bobbing here. If I I think it was another time where I go into the back, but yeah, you can actually, it's basically like a mini Daytona Talladega in that regard. The 98 kind of gets shunted on up. That's going to open up the door for the 17. But yeah, look at that back there. It is so incredibly tight that, I'm about to say, what am I doing here? It's so incredibly tight that these guys are literally shaking all around. The 3 kind of chokes on up, bounces off the apron. You're going to see a lot of that here after everything's all said and done. People kind of bopping off the apron. But yeah, look at that momentum shift. The top side is still going. Look how much these guys are absolutely rocking it right now. Again, to kind of, this is a really long race. As you can see, it was basically 2 hours of all this. So we're going to kind of start skipping ahead a little bit here. This is when the back half of the field started catching on up. That's exactly what you see. Those bumps. Okay, right there. You saw it right there. We're going to kind of slow it on down. And you're going to see it firsthand exactly how these bumps, and you're going to see it in the Xfinity guys as well. So he's going on there. There's like a little bump. You see like these cones right here? There's some bumps right here going into turn 1. And obviously BS just hit it wrong, and he was trying to get back up in line, and Hunty was already there, and that kind of slaps him into the wall. Very unfortunate, but that's not the first time, and it definitely won't be the last time that has happened. But yeah. But you can see how much time Hunty loses right there. Thankfully, he's not out of it, but he is still chugging along. So yeah, difference of 3 wide though, almost 3 wide. But yeah, you can see just the pace that these guys are having. So I was going to kind of skip ahead a little bit. This was our first caution. I think we actually caught it. Hang on 1 second. Yep, right there. So I think it was a lag from the 98. Right here, and that hit the 22. So it was pretty bad. It was a lag spike from someone, I'll say that. Maybe it wasn't the 90, maybe it was the one of Xander, but it was a lag spike, so the 22 all of a sudden just stops and just gets caught on up. But going back to what I was saying about restarts, though, look what I'm seeing here. So BD forgot to pit. Don't worry, though. He'll be back. And you can see that just now you are going, and how aggressive these guys are into the pace. We're going 3 wide, boys. We're going 3 wide. But yeah, Xander in the middle, Hunty on top, Justin Shackett down low. Restarts are everything here. That's why these guys are really starting to do that. Hunty almost scrapped the wall. They're going 3 wide in the quad oval. Here we go. That's exactly what you like to see. Skipping ahead a little bit though, we lost another one. Oh, actually no, I lied. This is when I first saw that MH was down pit lane. MH is still out on track. There is a glitch on Heat 5, and I think it was actually in Heat 4 as well, that if a person has a certain internet connection issue, it appears from the spectator screen they lag on out. That is far from the truth. They did not lag on out. They are actually still chugging around, actually. And but it just looks like they lagged on out. But so that's not true. This is not true right here. So MH is still racing around, and thank you for BS to who was my in-race reporter to kind of help me out with that. That was really nice of him to kind of say, yeah, MH is right here. So kind of skipping ahead a little bit. Back to the lead. You can actually see that Justin Shackett has actually taken the front spot. Brandon P2, BDP3, but you can see, like I said, how aggressive these guys are getting. Liam is up high. Hunty's now going to be in the middle, and just how these guys are pulling on off. Like, so yes, because of how many cautions there were. I think there was like 6 cautions or something like that. The amount of car control these guys are having, as you can see that Joe got tank slapped into the wall. I think I caught it right there. Going into turn 1, at the very end, So you can see Liam hit into Joe right there. Oh yeah, there it is. Joe in the 4, I got puts him in the wall, so that's what happens. But yeah, I think just the very nature of just how with high speed these are going and how competitive these guys are, it's just bound to happen. You know, everyone's going for the same real estate, but no one can really get away because it's such a draft track. The 17 puts to the bumper to the back of the 41. Doing the Dale 1, 2, 3. That's hey, I'm there. Next one saying get out of the way. Third one is you're gone. But yeah, the 22, a little bit of conundrum right there. That puts the 22. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Is the Hunty goes on around. That's going to be a caution right then and there. Yeah, so that's essentially the thing I'm talking about. Everyone's going for the same real estate. Can't really fault anyone for that. That is just a racing incident. But yeah, we're gonna kind of make a large chunk out of this now. So at this point, I want to point out the 17 had lost the draft. He got lagged into, I think. Oh, no. What happened was right... I think it was right here, maybe? No, it was before that. Right... Nope, before that. Anyway, so what happened... We're going to just go back to what it was. So anyway, what I was talking about is that the 17 got forced below the apron by the 41. It was totally unintentional, but just because of where everything was. So essentially the 41 was up high. So essentially the 41's right here. The and where the 00 was where the 41 is. So imagine the 41 is currently... Actually, what am I even talking about? The 41... Imagine the 17 is the 18 right now. So he was trying to get below the 41. The 41 kind of chopped on down and then kind of forced him on down. And because of how slippery this apron is you hit it the right way, it'll just kind of spin you out. That's what happened. So the 17 is currently out of the draft. But right now, people are starting to get into save mode. You can see that people are not really starting to make some moves. You will see some moves from time to time, but the moves are not nearly going as much. And in case you are wondering where MH is at the back of this line. Again, he is not showing up on screen, but he is in the race. In fact, actually, spoiler alert, he finishes P9. But yeah, out of the 11 racers that are left, he finishes P9. So yeah, we're going to kind of skip on ahead here because, like I said, people are starting to think about tires. So BD is currently setting the pace, but right behind, little mistakes like that just kind of check up the entire field, and that can lead to several things here. In fact, actually, we're going to skip ahead a little bit now. Potential checkups from time to time. So the 22 was the first one to kind of go down pit road. Now you're going to start seeing some pit stops happen. And I'm going to show you how treacherous pit road is. So the pit road entry at Atlanta is literally the bottom line. These guys do a great job and give way because... until that happens. Because the 18 pops the 4 right there. But thankfully the 4 can just go on down pit road. And that's classified as a one-car incident. That's unfortunate from Joe. Right there, but he will be back. But I'm just saying that's going to be a little bit of time loss for these guys, but that's just how things are going to pit road, because going into Joe, he was still on the bottom line when everything all happened. I don't know what exactly happened on the UK screen. I didn't get a video from him, but Joe was still on the bottom line. So like, there's only so much that could have been done, you know? I mean, probably come down a little bit more, but still, where like Hunty is, I don't know exactly what happened, but I mean, that's the danger of the pits, of getting on the pit lane right there. But thankfully no one else but Joe spun. Thankfully he didn't blow a tire as well. But coming back out into the pits, you have a caution that comes on out like immediately. This was a race to the line at this point. So people are coming back out. The green flag is back out. So because of Joe's incident, that was caution incident number 3. So the 17's back into it. The field's back into it. So everyone is now going back in. So everyone that just pit right there essentially just stayed on out. Everyone that didn't pit is in the back. So the 41, unfortunately, is back there. We're going to kind of skip ahead a little bit here. The field is at this point we are now halfway through the race, and people are starting to really like get into tire and save mode. Now you're going to start seeing that people are starting to go and like really start saving. People are going to be going into a single file line because at this point we are not going to see another caution. Now, one thing I'm going to point out here is what Xander is doing. The reason why I am choosing this out, so you can see these guys, they're running as hard as they can here. All right? There is going to be 3 different strategies here. There is going to be those that are running as hard as they can. So, like, the 22 is the main person in this. They're just going and they're pitting as soon as their tires give up or the fuel light comes on, whatever comes first. Then there's going to be those that are really going to start saving and possibly take 2 tires. So we're looking at Hunty. UK is going to be one of those. And then we're going to see those that are going to be trying to cut an entire pit stop out of it. And that's where Xander is right now. Xander and Liam in the 43 back here are going to be in that spot to try to see exactly what if they can actually cut an entire pit stop. So, like I said, we're not going to see any more cautions. So you're going to see these guys really start kind of going on back with this. So Hunty starts saving right there. That's where that strategy starts coming on. And the 17 starts saving. And he is also not in the whole boat of taking pitting exactly when your tires give on up, but he is with the full throttle strategy. That's the same thing with the 22, the 98 as well. The 98 did single, but there's no one behind him apart from Liam, and he was really far on back anyway. So, but that's how aggressive Liam is right now. Xander is starting to like pick up the pace a little bit because he has to stay at least within spitting distance of these guys. But he's going to be seeing that right now. Joe and the 41, they're going to be latched together this entire race. I'll tell you what. Like I said, with the last bit of caution coming on out, UK almost just slapped the 41 again, and I think he did, which is why he lost much ground. But oh my goodness, that could have been so bad. He had to choke on up in order to avoid it. But now you can see that now the final round of stops are coming in. So 3 separate strategies, the 3 separate laps. The 41 and the 4 are going to be just tied together this entire way. But yeah, kind of skipping ahead a little bit here. The field has mostly been split apart. So you have the 4 up in front, the 22 and the 41 in the top 3, and then you have the second pack of Hunty, UK, the one of Xander and Brandon B. Wright Racing, and the 98. But I think he eventually loses the draft, so he's going to be eventually going away from that. But yeah, you can see that the one of Xander is currently the end of that. The 98 has already lost the draft. 18, the 17, and 00 are in that second pack. But yeah, at this point, now we start starting going to rank and file Atlanta starts, or Atlanta finishes, where you guys are essentially just looking at different strategies. So essentially from here, like I said, the cautions are no longer a thing. But Liam is hardcore saving, and I think he's losing too much time, if you ask me, by doing that. Because he needs to stick with a draft in order for his cutting an entire stop out to work, because he finishes, I do believe, 3 laps down, and that's... yeah. But yeah. Now you have the top 3 here go and actually have a bit of a swap here soon. The 22 was looking to go beneath, but right now he's just kind of fine with just running right now. The 41, 100% is just okay with just running right now. Pit stops started to happen. The 22 has been the first one to come down pit road, but the 4 and the 41 are, like I said, glued together this entire race. Now the 18 and the 00 are starting to make up some ground because they was like, okay, full throttle. But yeah, you can see that these guys will be with each other basically the rest of the way. And from there, you have a swap to what the lead is like, because the 00 of Hunty lost a little bit of time coming out pit road. The 17, based on how early he comes on down pit road, is with these guys here. The 17 really aggressive with the 18 there. He's definitely not making friends with that. The 18 is faster because of fresher tires. And he is... oh, by the way, MH has been pitting with the 17 and the 22, by the way. So, MH is right in the back of this. I think he's, like, coming off it, too. He lost the pack as well. But he's with BS, essentially. So, yeah, from there, the 18 goes on around the 18. But the top 3 are gone. The top 3 are absolutely gone. There they are coming off of 2 right now. And the middle of the pack is in the middle of 1. There's Xander predicting... this is where I caught on to what Xander was trying to do, and just how much he's saving in order to cut out the entire pit stop strategy. So, skipping ahead a little bit now. Yeah, T-Bird giving me some wonderful... wonderful insight, because during that time frame that I skipped, we went on and listened to what Xander was doing and just how much he was off throttle, and T-Bird kind of picked up on that, saying that this is what the strats for the pro leaguers were doing. Again, so this 18 right now is leading the second pack, so little change here. The 17 in currently P5, Hunting P6, and you can see that as these guys are kind of going on around right now, there is the front pack. I just want to make sure actually where these guys are at right now. Yeah, there's the front pack, and they are trying to chase on down Xander, who is right there. Xander is the one that they've already done their final stop at this point. And it is now up to these guys to get through lap traffic, which is US Trek Enterprise, to try to just go and catch leaders. Thankfully, though, the Goose here gets on out of the way and just rides the top. But the one of Xander is right there. That is currently the race lead going into the final stint of this race. That is going to be for the race lead here. Here is... P2 and P3, and as you can see, we're gonna skip ahead just a little bit. They start catching the draft, and the one is gonna be blocking. They're gonna be forming a wall. They have to go through the middle, the Liam down low, the one up high, and they have to go through very close to contact between the 4 and the 1. But yeah, that one then gets on pass, and these guys are now just chugging it right now. And we're gonna kind of skip ahead a little bit from the. For the final stop, yet so I made my mistake. I thought that was the final stop. This is the final stop right now. The one is going to be staying on out. Now, the one has to maintain a lap and a half advantage over those with fresh tires. The one, he doesn't need to stop anymore. He is out. He is gone and away. UK though, and the 00 of Hunty did have to stop again, and they did take 2 if I recall correctly. But there goes the leaders. Yep, Hunty took 2 because he caught up so much ground on these guys. But you're going to see just how close the 00 and the 17 are going to get to these guys. But yeah, you can see that now the race is on. Justin Shackett almost lost the top 2 right here, but he was able to catch on with these guys. The 17 is trying to hunt down the 00, who is right there. He took 2. The UK actually ended up abandoning his 2-tire strat to take 4, but now you can see the one of Xander's right there. We're going to skip ahead a little bit. They did eventually catch him, and you can just see the difference in pace that 4 tires compared to no tires has right there. And the 22 is just going to have to go on around. The 1 is now racing for position. He has to block low. It forces the other 3 up high, and because of the commotion right there, the 41 is actually able to kind of cut on over and will take what will be P2, and then try to take the lead. He looks down low, but gets blocked at the last second, has to back on out of it. So the 1 has to just kind of fall in line. So the strat didn't work. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, the strat didn't work at that point. And coming to the last few laps of this race, you can actually see right now that, that was actually 2 to go right there. So the coming to the line, the 41 has one last shot at it. He looks up high, but it gets blocked. And then the 22 will take his maiden cup victory. Now, one thing we don't see is at the line, the 17 snubs the 00 for P5. Xander holds on for P4. It was so close between these 3. But after that, you are going to see the results right here. So BD wins, Justin Shackett, and then Joe for the podium. Joe, this is also his first podium. Justin Shackett, this is his second podium as well. Very good racing from these guys. Look how close that was. They were side by side. Brandon, if that was a little bit closer, Brandon would have snubbed P4 from Xander. Hunty almost gets P5, but Brandon passed him, I do believe, on the last lap coming out of 2, if I heard correctly. But yeah, after that, UK did lose a little bit of time, 9/10 away from these guys. BS and P8, CMH did finish. He's P9, Goose P10, and Liam P11. Unfortunately, Baseball Kid did lag out in the very beginning part of the race, but that's just how it be sometimes. So it was a great race, honestly. It seemed like all the cautions happened in the very beginning half of the race, and going into the standings, BD actually takes over the point lead. Excellent job. BD gains 3 spots, so he was in P4 at the time, now taking P1. Xander, P2 with another great stop, another great race. Strategy almost worked, so you're going to see a bit of that strategy come about in the Lights Fastlane. We'll get to that here in a second. But yeah, UK P3, very close for the top spot right here. Joe, P4, Justin Shackett, P5, Hunty, P6, and actually tied with Brandon for 6th place. And then you have a small jump down to T-Bird, who got last place points. That's why there's such a big loss right here. MH holds his position with P9 in the standings, BS P10, Goose P11, Liam P12, Worst Cod P13, again, another last place right here. Piper also gets last place points, but he jumps those who did not submit a lap, so Keith, Jagger, and Cade right here. So that is exactly why we should put it in a lap right here. And if we look at the stats, very close. The reason why BD has the point lead right now, this is right here. So he got his 2nd career podium, and he actually goes into, if I can digress for a hot second, goes into our driver of the featured driver of the week right here. So excellent job from him. It's a very good honor. BD though 2.5. Out of all the Cup guys that raced both nights, he has the best. Of course, I know D-Bird has a 2 average, but he didn't race Atlanta. He got last place points instead. But yeah, these are how the stats kind of stack on up here. And we have the makings, even though this is a very short season, this is just a preview to what Season 1 is going to be about. The big thing that we've already seen is we've seen a super speedway. We've seen a 1.5 miles. Next, we have a short track. That is going to be Bristol. And of course, UK is really good right there. He won last season. Where is he at? There he is. He won last season at this track, and he's looking to go back to back. But so is Xander. We have a lot of good people that are at Bristol that are good there. So who will come out on top? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, guys. With how close these points are, it could be anyone's guess. This is just going to be a taste for what is going to be expected for Season 1. Last but not least, we are looking at the team standings right now. And right now, Von Poon has a really big lead. But it is all to play for between GMI and Mopawa. With Mopawa having UK and Hunty compared to GMI's 4 drivers, but only 3 of them have been racing so far. And even then, 2 of them have been full-time. It's all to play for that P2 spot. After that, you have the Chaos Crew, which is a brand new team. Thank you, Webroot, for coming on in. And we have a... Thank you, Webroot. Then we have the Chaos Crew, which is a brand new team for these guys, coming on out and showing their prowess here, with T-Bird getting last place points, but Shackett in P2. So, what will Bristol bring us? I don't know, but this has been Private Patton with Millennium Racing League for the Fastlane episode over at Cup Atlanta. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.